Madam Toastmaster. Today I'm going to tell you about high fructose corn syrup and why I think we should ban it. According to the National Institute for Health, nearly 1 in 4 people in the US are obese. Obesity is so prevalent it's become classified as an epidemic. Obesity is responsible for nearly 300,000 deaths in the US each year. They also conducted a study that showed obesity is linked to low self-esteem and depression. 1 in 4 people are depressed, suffering, and may die in early death. A major contributor to this epidemic was the advent of high fructose corn syrup, a hyper sweet sugar that is made from corn rather than sugarcane. It is much sweeter, but more importantly, much cheaper to manufacture. Not realizing its poisonous nature, companies embrace this sweetener, putting it in a bewildering variety of products, from sodas to pizza sauces. We must address this public health crisis immediately for the health and well-being of everybody in our society. We must ban high fructose corn syrup. So let me tell you some facts about high fructose corn syrup, discuss the current obesity epidemic, show some foods that contain the sugar, why we should make it illegal, and what you can do to help ban it right now. Now, high fructose corn syrup contains the extracted sugars from corn, like table sugar from sugarcane. It actually contains 2 simpler sugars, glucose and fructose, bound together. Now, can I have the first slide? According to the BBC show, The Men Who Made Us Fat, fructose is easily converted to fat, whereas glucose isn't. Now, as you can see from this chart, since the advent of high fructose corn syrup in the 1970s, the total amount of calories that are consumed per person in the United States has increased drastically. Many of the calories now are consumed in the form of high fructose corn syrup. It's increased nearly 8,000%. Now, according to Diffie et al., doing research on high fructose corn syrup for the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, high fructose corn syrup contains both regular sugar along with vast amounts of unbounded fructose. The body doesn't recognize this unbounded fructose, so it thinks that it's consumed fewer calories than it has. This leads to overeating and fat accumulation. Next slide. Which leads to obesity. Obesity can cause a bewildering variety of different diseases: heart disease, diabetes, clogged arteries, as well as mental issues. According to the National Institute for Health, only very large consumptions of high fructose corn syrup lead to incidence of diabetes. However, there is a strong causation between obesity and diabetes. Diabetes creates a multitude of problems in the human body. Next slide. Celiac disease, thyroid disease, circulation problems, limb amputation, blindness. People are literally losing their limbs and going blind. They have heart problems. Heart disease is one of the leading causes of death in the US, and high fructose corn syrup, therefore, is a major contributor to deaths in the US. High fructose corn syrup meets all the qualifications of a poison. Next slide. Now, there's a lot of different products that we buy that have high fructose corn syrup. Unfortunately, right there, that's ketchup right there. On the right is soda. People will consume the foods that are available and do care about nutrition labels. It's up to companies such as Kraft, Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble to provide the public with food products that are free of poisonous ingredients. High fructose corn syrup is not safe and must be made illegal. We must add it to the list of banned substances. A society that's free of high fructose corn syrup will see life expectancy will rise as obesity is significantly reduced. The average self-esteem of everybody will increase, which leads to overall better moods. People will feel good or less likely to act violent. So crime may go down by banning high fructose corn syrup. With reduction in diabetes, we will see wide-scale improvement in people's lives. People will have their limbs to walk, their eyes to see. People will die in early death from diabetes. The pressures on the healthcare system will be substantially less. People will feel more secure about their health. So to wrap it all up, high fructose corn syrup is a processed sugar extract from corn, an alternative to sugarcane extract. It exists in many foods we buy. It contains huge amounts of unbounded fructose, a type of sugar that quickly turns into fat in the body. This unbounded fructose is unread by the body, meaning that all the calories you receive from free-floating fructose do not trigger the full response in your body, leading to overeating and obesity. Obesity is an epidemic, causing many deaths each year due to complications from diabetes and cardiovascular diseases. We must ban high fructose corn syrup, labeling it as the toxic substance that it is. So to conclude, We have the power to stop this harmful substance. Write letters to congressmen. Next slide. Here are some congressmen right here. Take a picture, write a letter to them. Tell them that we do not want high fructose corn syrup. Demand that they pass legislation making high fructose corn syrup illegal. Next slide. Pull up your phone to take a picture of these numbers. Call them. Tell them that you don't want your family to be poisoned by high fructose corn syrup any longer. These kinds of calls, these kinds of demands that consumers make have made a difference. We can improve the health of our nation. Be sure to check the food labels for high fructose corn syrup, and if it has it, avoid it. Don't buy it. If sales go down, then it will stop producing products with it. If only buy foods and sodas that are high fructose corn syrup free. Your choices as a consumer make a difference. You can make a difference. Thank you.